Arabia, Saul Canelo Alvarez isn't taking any time to rest. Instead, he's already looking ahead to his next challenge, one that could define a new chapter not only in his career but in the future of boxing itself. The Mexican superstar is set to return to action on September 12th in Las Vegas, where he'll defend his collection of world titles against the undefeated Terence Crawford. That fight alone is a blockbuster, but it's what's happening behind the scenes that may have even bigger implications. Canelo is reportedly in talks for something unprecedented, a potential streaming deal with Netflix that could turn this fight into a historic crossover moment between traditional boxing and digital streaming giants. The idea that Netflix might carry the fight isn't just a rumor anymore. Insiders say discussions are advanced and serious. If finalized, it would mark the first time Netflix broadcasts an official world title fight, moving beyond their experimental dive into boxing through exhibitions like the upcoming Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson event. This isn't just about securing another viewing option. It's about bringing boxing into homes of viewers who may never have bought a pay-per-view in their lives. For Canelo, whose international appeal is massive, and for Netflix, eager to expand its live sports offerings, the synergy could be enormous. This is the kind of deal that doesn't just shake up one event. It could change how the sport is packaged and sold in the streaming era. While Canelo's win over Skull was clean, it wasn't flashy. Critics were quick to point out that it set an unwanted record, the fewest punches thrown in a 12-round fight. Yet for Canelo, it wasn't about putting on a show. It was about doing what needed to be done. He controlled the pace, minimized risk, and kept his belts. Still, he knows that kind of performance won't fly against someone like Terence Crawford, who's bringing a perfect 41-0 record into the ring and a hunger to make history by becoming the first male boxer to become undisputed in 3 separate weight classes. This isn't just another title defense. It's a moment that could redefine the legacy of both fighters. The buzz surrounding this showdown is electric, and not just because of what's at stake. Both men are legends in the making. Canelo has fought some of the biggest names of the modern era, Gennady Golovkin, Miguel Cotto, Dmitry Bivol, and continues to push the envelope. Crawford, on the other hand, is coming off a career-defining performance against Errol Spence Jr., where he didn't just win, he dominated. Now, the narrative is set. Can Canelo withstand the precision and relentless attack of a fighter many consider pound for pound the best in the world? Or will Crawford be the one to finally unseat the king at 168 pounds? The answers won't come easy, but that's what makes it such a compelling matchup. What adds even more fuel to the fire is the venue. Allegiant Stadium, home to the Las Vegas Raiders and a hub for massive entertainment events, will host the fight. It's the same stadium that held this year's Super Bowl, and the capacity is enormous. Over 60,000 fans are expected to fill the seats. That's not just big for boxing, it's big for sports, period. The potential Netflix deal only amplifies that scale, giving millions of people around the world a chance to tune in. And it isn't just about the numbers, it's about accessibility, modernizing the sport, and making boxing a global spectacle in a way that matches the digital age. As anticipation builds for this high-stakes clash, the pressure isn't just on the fighters. It's also on the business minds orchestrating the event behind the curtain. Netflix has dabbled in sports documentaries and is already moving into live event territory, but broadcasting a world title fight is a whole different beast. There's production to consider, commentary teams to assemble, international broadcast, rights to navigate, and the pressure to deliver a seamless, high-quality stream for a global audience. If they can pull it off, this could be Netflix's equivalent of HBO's entry into boxing in the late 70s, a turning point that cements them as a serious player in live sports. And if the numbers explode as expected, the streaming platform may find itself at the center of future negotiations for marquee boxing events, changing the landscape of the sports business model entirely. For Canelo, this fight also comes at a pivotal moment in his career. While he remains one of boxing's biggest draws and most accomplished champions, questions about his sharpness have started to creep in. His recent fights haven't silenced critics who say he's beginning to show signs of wear after years at the top. That narrative only grows louder when matched against a younger, faster, and arguably hungrier opponent like Crawford. Yet, this is the same Canelo who bounced back from losses and tough decisions, rebuilt his brand, and took daring fights others would avoid. If anything, he thrives when his back is against the wall, and you can sense that his camp is taking Crawford more seriously than perhaps any opponent in recent memory. There's no underestimating going on here, just cold, focused preparation. Crawford, meanwhile, sees this as the opportunity of a lifetime. He's been calling out the big names for years, waiting patiently for the respect and exposure his talent deserves. After dismantling Errol Spence Jr. in a performance that left fans stunned, he catapulted himself into mainstream boxing conversations. But facing Canelo is something entirely different. It's not just a test of skill, it's a test of size, strategy, and endurance. Crawford will be moving up in weight once again, stepping into the lion's den to challenge one of the sport's most physical and durable fighters. But if there's anyone who can make that leap and keep their edge, it's Crawford. He's a student of the game, methodical in preparation, and calculated in execution. And from the way his team is talking, they genuinely believe Canelo has no answer for what Bud brings. There's also a massive cultural and national pride element wrapped into this bout. Canelo has become a symbol of Mexican excellence in the sport, perhaps the biggest Mexican star since Julio Cesar Chavez. He fights with that legacy on his shoulders every time he steps into the ring. Fans from Mexico and across Latin America will be tuning in, expecting their champion to hold the line. On the other side, Crawford has become a beacon for Omaha, Nebraska, and a broader symbol of persistence, excellence, and rising above the odds. This fight isn't just about belts or legacies, it's about identity, pride, and everything each fighter represents. The stakes are massive, not only for boxing fans, but for two very different yet passionate fan bases. If Netflix does indeed close this deal, it could also open the door for a new kind of boxing experience, one that's more cinematic, more interactive, and more accessible. Imagine real-time stats, multiple language feeds, behind-the-scenes access in the days leading up to the fight, and a global stream that doesn't require cable subscriptions or outdated pay-per-view platforms. That could change how younger generations consume boxing and potentially reignite interest in the sport from casual fans who've drifted away. With figures like Sheikh Turki Alalshik backing the promotional effort and TKO Boxing aligning with digital innovation, everything seems set for a groundbreaking moment. It's no longer just about a fight, it's about where boxing goes next.